Hi guys, it's Vanessa, and this is Life with the Cane Corso. I'm the person that has been behind the cameras of all of my recent videos. I have not talked to a camera very much, so I'm sorry for any awkwardness. I'm still getting used to this, and if you just give me time, I promise I'll get better at talking to the camera. But today I'm gonna make a video and talk to you guys about my experience with a rescue dog, and that rescue dog particularly being a cane corso, which you can see him back there on the couch. Sorry, not cane corso, cane corso is the proper way to say it. Which I've never had a dog like this before. I knew nothing about them. I saw him in the shelter, and I've always loved big dogs, dogs with big heads, like just beefy, thick dogs. I love them. I've always wanted big dogs. I've always had big dogs, and it's just a breed size I really enjoy. You know, small dogs aren't really for me. And so me and my husband are looking online at, you know, different dogs in shelters or dogs for sale. Like, we're just looking for dogs, and we didn't care where it came from. We were just looking to get another one because we had a puppy, and she was 6 months old at the time when we were looking, and we were like, you know, we want another dog. We want her to have a friend, you know. She got taken from her siblings too young as it is, you know. She was away and gone from all of her siblings by like 5 weeks of age. All of her siblings were already adopted and gone. She was the last one, and we got her at 6 weeks. So she really didn't know how to interact the way she should have. If she had more time with her siblings, she would have, you know, learned some more socialization skills. You know, they teach each other. It's important to keep them together for as long as you can. So we're like, we want her to have another dog so she could, you know, learn how to be with another animal, because we only had a cat at the time. And, you know, besides from taking her to dog parks, we wanted her to have a friend. So, sorry, that was way too long for what I was saying. But anyways, so we're looking at dogs, and we see his picture pop up, and we're like, immediately we fall in love with him. We're like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. Like, look at that big old head. Like, and all the pictures of him were of him laying down. Like, none of them were of him standing up. And the only one that I think he was possibly standing up in, the main focus was his head. Like, we didn't really see his body very much. And looking back now, I see how that was kind of weird. But so we're like, okay, we're gonna fall in love with that dog. So I called the shelter, which wasn't even in our town, but we were willing to go and look and adopt him if he was the right fit. So we called and let him know we were interested and that we were gonna come down that weekend. So we drive down there, and we have our other dog with us, our puppy, because they have to meet each other. And we go in first, and we're meeting him, and I saw him, and like my heart just sank, because the reason that they didn't show pictures of his body were because he was completely malnourished and underweight. Like, I was in shock. I've never seen a dog look like that in person. I mean, I've seen videos of dogs that were, you know, really unhealthy, and they get them healthier. But this is my first time seeing something like that in person. So it was really, like, devastating for me when I saw him. Like, immediately I was like, oh my gosh, this poor dog. Like, you could see every rib, every single rib in his body, his hip bones, his elbows from laying down on the concrete were just all beat up and tore up, and they're bloody. And I kind of instantly was a little angry with the shelter people, because I'm like, this dog is way too underweight. Like, and I even said that to him. I'm like, man, he's really skinny. And they're like, yeah, he's a little underweight. He could probably use to gain like 5 pounds. I don't want to see him, you know, we don't want to see him get too heavy. I'm like, 5 pounds? You think that's going to make the difference for this dog? if you know anything about cane corsos, which I didn't, not much. Like, I knew some about them, I've heard of them, I've known people that own them, and I like them, but I didn't really start doing research on them until I got him. And we adopt him and get him home from the shelter, and immediately I'm on my phone, I'm researching. I'm like, you know, the temperament of the breed, the personality, like what type of dogs they are, how they are with people, how they are with the kids, how they are with being left alone. Like, everything I could possibly look up to learn about him, I was doing it, watching videos, everything. For them to say that he only needed to gain 5 pounds was absolute bullcrap. Like, cane corso, sorry, I keep wanting to say cane corsos, males stand between, I think it was 26 to 28 inches at the shoulder, and they can weigh anywhere from like the max, like 120 to 130 pounds. When we adopted him, we took him to the vet. You know, they gave us a free vet checkup. We took him to the vet. He weighed 85 pounds. 85 pounds, you guys, and the animal shelter said that he only needed to gain 5 pounds. I was like, no, this dog needs to at least be 120 pounds, because he is 27 inches at the shoulder, and he is a big dog. Like, there's no way that his weight is 90 pounds, which wasn't true. They kept saying that they fed him 10 cups a day at the animal shelter, which was such a lie. If you were feeding him 10 cups a day, he would not be only 85 pounds, which we've obviously... Sorry guys, my camera died. But I was saying, the animal shelter was saying that they only fed him 10 cups a day, which wasn't true, because we got him home and we were trying to feed him that much, and like, he was definitely eating that much food at first because he was starving. So he was eating it, and what happened? He was gaining weight, like immediately when we got him home and he started eating. So for them to say that he was eating that much at the shelter and not gaining any weight, which is what they said, was a lie. Like, they weren't feeding him that much, which I understand. Like, animal shelters are, a lot of them, non-profit. Like, they take food that is donated to them, which I get that. Like, but don't lie to me and say that you fed him that much food when I know you probably didn't, because you probably didn't have the food to feed him that much. Like, you have other dogs there. So that kind of frustrated me, because he has been gaining weight, and he still is gaining weight. He went from 85 pounds to 115 last time we weighed him. We're thinking that he might be 120 now. We haven't weighed him in a while. I want to do that soon to find out. But he did gain weight, and now he's from 10 cups a day. He's eating now only 6 cups a day, and he's staying balanced. Like, he's not losing any weight from switching from 6 cups to 10 cups. Like, that's like where he's comfortable. He doesn't really want to eat any more than 6. Sometimes he'll eat less, but generally he's eating right about 6 cups a day. But sorry, I lost my train of thought because my camera died. So we rescue him, we get him home, and immediately him and our puppy, like, they get along great. They love each other, they're playing, like, he has no problem. We have a cat also, and he has no issues with the cat, like, doesn't even acknowledge her, honestly. And they love each other, so we're like, awesome, like, that worked out great. They get along, like, no aggressive issues, no nothing. So we're like, okay, like, he's a good dog. Like, we got him home, and this is what he does. Like, he sleeps. When we're home, he sleeps. A lot of people, like, think something's wrong with him. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with this dog. He sleeps, but when it's time to go outside and play or go for a walk or to the park, like, he's all about it. He plays, he jumps, he's crazy. He's got a ton of energy, and he's so fast for how big he is. In the house, I think he knows it's chill time, like, so he's just gonna nap. But we get him home, and we were with them over the weekend, but then Monday come around and we had to go to work. So we're like, well, we have to go to work. So, you know, we leave them in the house and we go to work, which I was nervous about the whole time because we don't know this dog, like, and now we're leaving them all day to be at work. So I'm just like on edge and uneasy all day. And I get to work and it was like right around noon time, and I just started getting this really uneasy feeling. Like, I was like, I need to go home. Something's not right. Like, I gotta go check on the dog. And so I talked to my boss, which I work at a dog grooming company, and I could bring my puppy with me. I'd always been bringing her, but I wasn't allowed to bring both of the dogs because there's not enough room. It's not a big enough shop. So I was like, well, I guess I'll leave Wrinkles. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have left the puppy, but I didn't think it through. So it's 12 o'clock and I go talk to my boss. I'm like, look, I gotta go home. I just feel like I need to check on the dog, our new dog. She's like, okay, yeah, like, of course, go for it. So I come around and pull up to my driveway, and I see him standing out in the front yard. The gate wide open, and he's just standing there. And I pull up and I'm like, instantly, again, my heart like dropped. I was like, oh my gosh, like, how did he get out? All of our windows are shut, locked, doors shut and locked, like, no way for him to get out. So I'm super confused as to how he got out. And then I'm thinking like the worst. I'm like, did someone try to break into our house? Did someone bust a window open? Like, what's going on? So I secure him, make sure that he's not gonna go anywhere. And I look around my whole house to see if there's any busted windows, anything broken, and nothing. Like, and that was on the outside of the house. I did that, I like walked around. So then I come in the front door and the whole house was just turned upside down. Like, all the couch, which this is a new couch, but all the couch pillows and cushions were pulled off, all in the middle of the living room floor. The kitchen table, like the chairs and stuff, were moved. The chairs were knocked over. The table was moved across the kitchen. We had blinds. All the blinds in the living room and my bedroom were all ripped down and ripped off the wall. He had, I'll show you some of the damages. He came over here to the door. Let me turn the light on. You could see he did that to the door, and I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it. This dent, there's one on the top and on the side right there. Yeah, that's from his teeth. He put his mouth around this and he was trying to open the door, which we've come to find out that he does know how to open doors, but this door, as you can see, it's like hard to open. You have to really pull it. So that was the only reason he couldn't open that. And then we come over here, hi Bella, and he had ripped this whole like paneling right here off. We put it back on, but he did that. And this window here, this is where he got out from, and I'll tell you how. So in that window, we had a window AC unit in that window. And if anyone, which I'm sure you guys know what a window AC is, they have those like sliders that slide up against the side of the window so there's no open holes. Well, he had decided that he could smell that there was a way out right there, you know, air's coming in, and he decided that he was going to shove his head and body. We had a couch there too, covering that window. He moved the couch out of the way and he was pushing on that window to the point where that little plastic thing broke off. And it was a space, I'm not joking, it was this big, like as big as my head. Apparently big enough for his head to fit through, and that's all it took. If his head can fit through something, his body's gonna fit through it too. And that's how he got out. He broke the little side thing of the AC. So we had to move the air conditioner into my kitchen. We have a window above the sink there, and we fixed that problem. But that's what happened 2 days after we had him, this was the 3rd day, and leaving him for the first time, and he did all that. So we were like, okay, this dog can't be left alone. Like, somebody has to be here and be with him constantly until we figure this out. So I had to switch dogs. I had to stop taking my little black dog here to work with me and start taking him because he couldn't be left alone, and she's fine being home alone. Which, it sucked, and I felt bad because she was so used to coming to work with me every single day. Now I take her occasionally. I can take them both on occasion. But that was the first dramatic thing that happened with Wrinkles, and something that the animal shelter never told us about. They never told us that he was so high anxiety and so anxious and didn't like being left alone. The only thing that they did tell us was that he was an escape artist, which is true. But they told us nothing else about this dog, and they had him for 2 months, I think right at 2 months. And you'd think that they would be able to tell us a little more about him than he's an escape artist. But, so there's that little story. And we've had him for 8 months now, and we've worked up to, we can actually leave our house, me and my husband together, for 3 hours without him freaking out. And we had to build, I'll show you this too, we had to build that gate right there, and that's his bed, and come to find out that that's where he feels comfortable, because he can see Cinder, our other dog, and see that she's calm, and they can touch noses, and he's calm there. Before, we were separating them in other rooms, so they couldn't see each other at all. And I guess that was a big, I guess that was a big mistake, is he didn't like that he couldn't see her. So as soon as we built that gate and he could see, everything has gotten so much better. We can finally leave our house, thank the Lord, and he's not freaking out, you know, for about 3 hours, and then we have to come home because he's starting to get antsy. But aside from his anxiety and separation issues, he's like the best dog we've ever had. He listens so well. He, I mean, you say his name and he comes, or he stops doing whatever it is that he's doing. Like, he's a really good dog. He off-leash trained, like, he stays right by me. That's a plus with his separation anxiety, is he's become very, very attached to me, and wherever I'm at, he has to be. So he stays right by me wherever we go. Like, I don't have to worry about him running away because he's just not going to do it. Like, I have to be in his sight, or he has to be able to hear me, or he freaks out. So that is the plus side about a dog that has separation anxiety, or a dog that is very loyal to their human, is you don't have to worry about him going anywhere, because he's not gonna. He's not a runner. You know, like huskies and other types of dogs, like, they want to run and they don't care if you come with them or not, but he is not that way. We did find out that he has been very badly abused, not just neglected, but abused physically. He's been beat. We found that out almost instantly when we brought him home. Any loud voices, any quick movement towards him, he would flinch and cower or fall to the ground and pee. Especially if my husband, like, sounded upset or got upset over something Cinder did, because she was still a puppy. So, like, if she chewed up something and we were disciplining her, like, he would be terrified. So we're like, okay, obviously this dog has been through a lot, not just being malnourished, but also beat. And then shortly after we had realized that, I get a message on Facebook from this woman. I have no idea who she is, and she just asked me, are you the one that adopted Mr. Wrinkles, which is the cane corso? And I said yes. And she proceeded to tell me how she was the previous owner. She was the one that had put him into the shelter. And immediately I'm like asking, like, were you abusive to him? Did you beat him? Like, why is he like this? And apparently the breeder was abusive to him up until they got him. So he'd been abused from puppyhood to like early, like 8 months old. And that's why he has the issues that he has, which is so sad. And now I don't know how much truth's behind that, because like I said, I don't know these people at all. The fact that he was so skinny and in their care previously had me kind of concerned, because there's no reason for him to be that skinny. Like, if you feed him, he gains weight like very quickly. So I'm not so sure how good his previous owners were either, as far as maybe they weren't abusive, like physically abusive, but I don't know if they were great dog owners. So we found out he was abused, and then we were like, great. So not only are we dealing with a dog that has separation anxiety, we're dealing with a dog that has been abused and has been beat to the point where he has zero confidence. Like, he had no confidence at all. My puppy is the one that gave him the confidence to do things. When they got close and built a bond, when she would go and do things, or like go run and play, like especially at like a dog park, when she would take off to go smell another dog or go play with another dog, he would follow her. But as far as him doing that on his own, he wouldn't do it. Like, not at all. Now, after 8 months, he's gotten some of his confidence back. He's still not where he should be, but he is getting better, so that's awesome. But really, the moral of this video is I'm just kind of giving you guys a background of him and what we've been dealing with for a rescue dog, and a dog that we have no idea who he was or what his background was. And kind of just like advice for any other people that rescue a dog too, is to just keep in mind that when you adopt a dog, you are really adopting an animal you know nothing about. I mean, despite what the animal shelter thinks they know, they could really not know anything about that dog, because the person that dropped the dog off could be a complete liar. Like, you have no idea what you're getting into, and you just have to keep that in mind, that when you bring the dog home, there might be things that are going to be really hard and difficult to deal with. But if you stick with it and you have the time, which I wouldn't adopt a dog if you didn't have the time to be with them the majority of your days. Like, I only work part-time, so I'm only at work 3 days a week. So I'm with him 24/7 to work with him and try to get him confident and be a happy, healthy dog again. But if you're working full-time and you don't have the time for a rescue dog, don't get one, because they're going to probably need a lot of your time, because they're going to be scared and insecure and probably have a bad background. So I just want to say, like, just be consistent and repetitive with what you're doing and the training, and making them feel confident. Don't treat them like, if you get an abused dog, don't treat them like they're being abused, because when you go, oh, like, poor baby, you need love, like, that is just going to continue to make them not have confidence and be babyfied. Like, you need to be a little more tougher, more tough love, like a father's love. Don't coddle him too much, because he needs to build that confidence on his own. You can't hold his hand or paw through everything. Like, you gotta let him learn and become confident on his own, which he's getting a lot better, so I'm happy with that. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on him. Now I'll do a little close-up on him sleeping so peacefully on the couch. Mr. Wrinkles. Hi, Bubby. Oh, what a good boy. Oh, and Cinder's a good girl. Oh, yeah. So that's all for this video today, guys. I hope you liked it and enjoyed it. If you're new here, shoot, I'm new to the whole YouTube thing, so you know, if you like this video, go ahead and like it and subscribe. That would be awesome. Again, I'm sorry for any awkwardness. Like, I'm new to this, so I promise I'll get better with talking to the camera and making videos. But there's just a little background of our wrinkle boy. Most of the time you guys just see him playing and jumping around and having fun, but that's not how it always was. So I just wanted to let you guys know that it took a lot for him to be happy and be who he is today. So thanks for oh my gosh, I can't talk. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like this video. Bye guys.